Star Wars Outlaws is going to be a complete disaster for Ubisoft and Lucasfilm. This game, following the heels of The Acolyte, is just... it's just horrendous. A few months ago, I did a video discussing the look and really the feel of what this game is going to look like. Over at thatparkplace.com, they kind of dive into that a little bit again. The creative director Julian Geraghty rejects criticism of Kay Vess looks. It makes no sense to me and it's not worth engaging with. They say, well, this is Kay Vess. This is what the character looks like in the game. Yet this is the actress that they copied it for her from. This is Learning the Law over on X. Total video game character assassination by feminist developers. Star Wars Outlaws 2024. They're taking all the beautiful models and turning them into chessless Karens. It's crazy. You take a look. Learning the Law put The Force Unleashed versus Star Wars Outlaws. We never knew how good we had it, bros. I mean, this is insane. But Geraghty responded to the criticisms, telling the Washington Post, Kay is meant to be approachable, a petty thief who ends up barreling through this story, making bad decisions and centered with a lot of humor, humility, and toughness. That's what's important to me, and she's beautiful. Come on! Come on, he says. What? First, the character looks horrendous in this game. And it's not just her that looks bad. The game completely looks horrendous. But before we get to that, he adds, it makes no sense to me and it's not worth engaging with, which he just engaged with. If you engage with bad faith people, it's no nuance and no possibility of real dialogue. So all we can do is make the best game possible. He told Game Informer, which RIP Game Informer, they just shut their doors this morning, I heard. But I think she's much more modern protagonist than we usually see in games. He explained she's somebody who is very much a street thief who gets thrown into things that are beyond her control and that she kind of has to think her way out of, and that makes it a little more relatable than somebody who has all the confidence and sarcasm and just comes off as somebody who is not believable. So having her be relatable in that way was something extremely important to us. So you make her ugly as possible so you can make her relatable. That's just ridiculous. I'm sorry. This is just out of hand at this point. It really is getting out of hand. I just don't understand what they're doing with video games anymore. And like I said, it's not just the game that looks that bad, or the character that looks that bad. The game as a whole looks horrendous. IGN, on Star Wars Final Preview, journalists, I'm having a blast with Star Wars fighting mechanics, but the video game is broken. Let's look at this.
As such, the blaster battles felt like they had meaningful stakes, and the stealth gameplay had a bit of weight to it because I knew that I'd
literally walks away from the... Oh my god! The game is just broken. It's not even good. I'm having a blast with the Star Wars fighting mechanics. Literally shoots the AI like 5-6 times. Walks right next to the character. The character is in a daze, stunned. Comes to, and instead of attacking the main person playing, turns, shoots away from the character, and then walks away from the character. That's not good mechanics. That's not good AI. The game looks terrible. The game plays terribly by all accounts. But that's not all. We then see this. Stormtrooper just shooting into a wall. Oh, such great gameplay mechanics. What is going on over at Ubisoft? Look, I know I haven't covered the Assassin's Creed thing that's been going on because that's been wild in and of itself. But something's going on with Ubisoft. And really, it's not just Ubisoft. It's not just video games. It's video games. It's the industry. It's Hollywood as a whole. The quality of content is dropping drastically while budgets are skyrocketing. And it's really making little sense of what's going on. What else? Oh, this one is hilarious to me. This one is hilarious. I've never been so immersed in a takedown experience as I was with Star Wars Outlaws. IGN. This is legitimately from IGN. 10 out of 10. Too much empowered women experience. Whack with the back of her hand on the back of a stormtrooper's helmet. Whack with the back of her hand. The stormtrooper is knocked out. Like, these are the gameplay mechanics of this Star Wars game. Okay? Now, I grew up in an era, like, my first Star Wars game that I really, truly played was Dark Forces 2 back on my PC back in, like, 1994, 95, whatever it was. That game was just amazing to me when I was a kid. I mean, that game was fantastic. Was it, like... was it everything? No, I mean, there was definitely issues with it, but come on. Would you ever expect them to allow the character to walk up and smack a stormtrooper with the back of your hand and then pass out? Like, who's approving this? Who's sitting there saying, yeah, that's a good idea. Let a woman, a small, relatable woman, because she's supposed to be relatable. Remember that. We just learned in the last article that she's supposed to be relatable, just like everybody else. To use the back of her hand to smack a stormtrooper who's wearing a big bulky helmet, and that's going to knock him out. But this is the reality that we live in today. What is this? I didn't see this one. What is it? What did you really just slide across the floor like that? And then the stormtroopers just walk on. And there's a stormtrooper just standing there.
Nix,
oh man.
It's showtime.
What is this?
Hey,
might be
get that
loud. What is she? Oh man, this is ridiculous. This is horrendous. This game. There's just people. Like, it's not even smart stealth. Like, you're just walking in the wide open stealthily. Ooh, stealthily walking in the wide open. What is this? And you're punching people, which is obviously going to make noises. So all those people that were in there, the other 2 or 3 people in there, wouldn't have heard that going on? That's absurd. Absolutely absurd. Nerd logic. I got to play Star Wars Outlaws for 4 hours. I didn't crash the speedler nearly as many times as expected. Huge thanks to Ubisoft for the opportunity to play Star Wars Outlaws early. Let's see how this went.
Whoa!
Let's see. This should be interesting.
Oh, okay, we're alive. We fix the ship, get to the gold world, and then...
Get to Miragana. That's pike turf. You'll lose it there. And, check the logs and even found a name.
I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, why do they expect gamers to just be okay with this kind of stuff anymore? Like, I'm not as big of a gamer as I used to be. I wish I played games more often than I do. But this is absurd. This is crazy. And like I said, for a Star Wars game right now, this is not a good look for Star Wars. To come off the heels of The Acolyte, it's not a good look. We need, as a Star Wars fan, we need something to really grab us. This just isn't it. This isn't it. What do you guys think? Is Star Wars Outlaws doing it for you? Is this something that you want to see? Are you excited about this? Should anybody be excited about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let us all know what you think about this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really concerned. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. With all that said, I'll catch you all later.